If your goal is to replicate the feeling of playing pen-paper RPGs with your friends, sitting around the table, guided by a friendly DM who sets the rules, Talespire is the closest thing you're going to get as a video game. Like Baldur's Gate 3, Talespire is centered around tabletop RPGs. Yet unlike BG3, you won't be using a predefined rules set like the D&D handbook. Instead, you'll be free to choose the rule before every game. Combined with its unique action figure-style characters, it's a charming game, well worth a try. A gem from Obsidian Entertainment, Tyranny is a CRPG bearing all the hallmarks of a traditional role-playing experience but with a twist. In Tyranny, you won't be playing as the hero who's out to save the world from the great evil. You are the evil and the world had better watch out. Tyranny features phenomenal storytelling that changes and morphs according to your choices in ways few games can achieve. It looks and feels like one of the original Baldur's Gate games, but with a visual uplift that has you coming back for more. The holy grail of modern tactical role-playing games, Wasteland 3 came out of nowhere and cemented itself as the best of the best, seemingly without issue. Unlike the other games on the list, Wasteland 3 is not set in a fantasy world. It has a modern, Western story grounded in politics that draws you in through its nuances. The gameplay is standard tactical RPG stuff but dialed up to 11. The balance is excellent, as you never feel too overpowered or outclassed at any point in the game. The game's main focus is combat, but the story is the one that will keep you returning day after day. Little needs to be said about Diablo IV that hasn't already been said. The grim dark fantasy world of Diablo is iconic, and while it doesn't have all the nuances and RPG elements of Baldur's Gate, it's still a fantasy world you'll want to experience at least once. After the fiasco that was Diablo Immortal, it seems Activision Blizzard managed to eke out a win with Diablo IV. It's a different experience from Baldur's Gate, but if it was the deep lore that drew you into Baldur's Gate, there is plenty of that here.
Welcome sight as always.
An industry icon, Neverwinter Nights has always been one of the best games in the genre. With the enhanced edition out in 2018, the visuals got a much-needed refresh that allows players to enjoy the incredible story and gameplay without sacrificing visual fidelity. If you needed any more reason to play Neverwinter Nights, it was made by the same studio that was responsible for the original Baldur's Gate and Icewind Dale back in the day. If the lack of complexity in Dragon Age Inquisition puts you off of the title, you'll adore Dragon Age Origins, provided you can overlook the dated graphics and combat controls. It's a heroic fantasy game that puts in the shoes of the character who is going to save everyone. Generic, yes, but told in such an engaging way that you can't help but accept that tropes are tropes for a reason. Like Baldur's Gate 3, Dragon Age Origins really shines when it comes to companions and their interactions with the players. Few games can lay claim to doing as good a job with companions as this game has. For fans of CRPGs, Pillars of Eternity 1 was an absolute treat to experience. It is a top-down CRPG with an incredible focus on storytelling and world building. A dark fantasy world filled with a rich story hidden under every rock, Pillars is a complete experience you can lose yourself in. Made by Obsidian Entertainment, both Pillars of Eternity games breathe life into the world by focusing on the smallest of details in the setting. You don't need to have played Pillars 1 to enjoy Pillars of Eternity 2, as the stories take place in completely different eras with no overlap. If you're excited about Baldur's Gate 3, chances are you've already played Larian Studios' previous offerings in Divinity Original Sin and Divinity Original Sin 2. But if BG3 was your first introduction to Larian, it'd be a crime not to give these fantastic games a try for yourself. Both of these games are simplified versions of tabletop games, distilling down what makes the genre fun and only offering players the juicy parts. And if you're intimidated by CRPGs in general, these two games would be an excellent entry point. Like Pillars, you don't need to have played the first Divinity game to enjoy the story of the second one. A hidden gem if there ever was one, Solasta Crown of the Magister is the most accurate rendition of D&D rules in a video game setting yet. The developers tried their best to replicate a tabletop experience as a video game, and it shows. Gorgeous graphics, a wide variety of enemy types and settings to play around with result in a game that delivers on what it promises, a true D&D experience on a PC and consoles. Despite its lack of renown, Solasta is a must-play for D&D fans looking for a video game. Alcat Games' Pathfinder series is a testament to what a dedicated team of developers with a passion for the genre can do for a game. Based on the Pathfinder rule set, Pathfinder Kingmaker features true-to-tabletop gameplay, a compelling story in a world that revolves around player choice and a diverse cast of companions. Coupled with a class system that goes so in-depth you can spend hours just getting lost in all the choices you can make your character build unique before even starting a playthrough. Wrath of the Righteous does all that and more, and I highly recommend you to give this series a try.
Make every strike count!
The Inheritor! Guide my blade!
Go for their hearts! You are today's sacrifice!
Endure this!
The spirits demand your blood! You.